Hello, everyone. Welcome to Just Chat. I'm your host, Uncle Dominic. Am I a mess? That is the question we are exploring today. Now, we often think things that bad that happen to us, and we ask the question, "Am I a mess?" And we blame ourselves for so many things that could not be our fault, but we blame it as our fault. So it is very difficult to work with this. So we have to be very careful about this. Okay, so it comes with three different things that we can talk about. First of all, we can talk about self-reflection, and we can talk about the problems that we have in our life, because every single day there's definitely going to be something wrong with it. It's not going to be perfect. We're not going to have a wonderful day. There's always going to be something wrong with it. Right? It's definitely, and we tend to blame ourselves for it, but we shouldn't. Okay, we shouldn't blame ourselves for it, but the heck, it happens, right? So, so I have come up with some questions that we can ask. First of all, is what does being a mess mean? Okay, you wake up in the morning, you're ready to go to work or ready to go to school. You have everything planned out, and you're pretty much ready to conquer the world. But as you go out, you notice you have tiny bit of hair on your head that's not listening to you, and it's not working out for you. And so you have a bad hay there, and so that is terrible. And how does it make anyone feel? It's gonna be bad because you feel like it's not working out, and so you stress out about it. So you be like, why is it always me, right? So things like that does happen, and of course, there are going to be other messy moments in your life. For example, that is from the past, that is slowly coming back to you, and it's kind of hurting as well, because you thought you have left it in the past, and but it comes back. Okay, all right, next one. Uh, well, if I say things this way, it kind of like saying like life gives us curveballs sometimes, and life gives us lemonade sometimes. And if we can turn it into something better, then yeah, forget about it, right? So that is very important. Okay, so I'm gonna give an example in my life. Okay, so there is this one time I was going out with my partner, and we were supposed to go out and meet some people, and our plan was to go there, ride our bicycle there, and meet this individual. But as we were riding, it started to rain. Of course, people will start saying, "Oh, why does it rain? I hate the rain." Well, it's true. I blame it as well. But at the same time, we realized that the rain might help. Why? It's a hot day. When it rains, it feels good. But then I started to blame myself. I started like, why did I even make an appointment at this time? I can just stay home. I don't have to go and see this particular individual at this time. It is raining. I should stay home, right? But then my partner says, yeah, we should definitely go. We shouldn't stay home because we made an appointment. We need to commit to it. And so that's one thing I learned. You make an appointment. You say something you're gonna do. You should do it. Do not let life hit you, and therefore you decided not to do it. Okay, so this is terrible. So I like this kind of thing that's happened, and I try to imply it into my life as well. But it's very difficult, because I want you all to know that because of bad things are going to happen, definitely all the time, and we just have to adapt to it and keep going. I'll give you another example. Just recently, I've been training a few students of mine to enter a Reader's Theatres competition, and so that is a pretty good challenge, pretty big challenge for them. I mentioned a lot of times to students that if we make mistakes doing the while we are reading, we should not stop. We should acknowledge the mistakes and keep moving on. Okay, and so lo and behold, the day happens, and there was a mistake, and it was actually a pretty big mistake. It kind of so one of my students was holding the music stand, and the music stand fell down, and she almost fell down, and but of course she kept continuing on like a professional, and this is great. So it kind of reminds me of that, because things in life does happen, and it's not going to be perfect, and lo and behold, just keep moving forward, and things is going to happen, right? Okay, so I've come up with 10 things that can actually help us to overcome our thoughts about, am I a mess? Okay, so the first one is embrace imperfections. That means we need to embrace our flaws and our quirks, because we need to remember that perfection is overrated. Perfection is not, well, I wouldn't say it's, how do I say this? Okay, perfection is overrated, but at the same time, I would say it is not real, because no one can be perfect. Of course, test scores and stuff is different. You can get 100 and perfect, but other than that, personality wise or life wise, things happens. I don't think it's gonna be perfect. But at the same time, if we embrace the flaws and all the quirks that make who we are, it makes us different and unique. Second one, learn from chaos. Meanings, learn from things that has happened, the curveballs that is going to thrown at us, and we can adapt to it, and we can make ourselves better. So if we do that, life is much better. Next one, practice self-compassion. Now, this is important because we blame ourselves. Am I a mess? Why is this happening to me? Things like that. We shouldn't think of it that way. We should treat ourselves more better. Treat ourselves as a friend, right? Treat yourself as who people treat you. Actually, how to say this? Be kind to yourself when things get messy, right? That's a better way to put it in, right? Uh, Fourth one, seek support. Okay, so seek the support of your friends. If you're in trouble, talk to your friends. So this is very important to, especially to my children, right? If you're listening to this or watching this right now, one day you're gonna experience trouble in your life, and what should you do? Uh, if you don't want to talk to your parents, which is me, it's gonna be difficult. So you should seek help from your friends. Find friends that can help you. Now, of course, if those of you who are rich and have lots of money, seek a therapy, right? Therapists, they can help you, all right? But they cost money. Okay. The fifth one, find beauty in chaos. So this is what I've been talking about for the past time, last few episodes of podcast. Because there is beauty in all things. Uh, we just have to find the positive in all the negatives out there. There is going to be a lot of negatives. I'm telling you, a lot of negatives are going to happen in your life, and it will happen, and it's probably happening right now as well. Like for example, um, today I was expecting to have a guest today. Um, Lo and behold, they didn't show up for the show, but that's okay, because it makes me want to still continue on this podcast, because it is important for me to share this message to you, right? Sixth one, I thought of this was very interesting, as laugh at yourself, right? Create humor, okay? Because sometimes things happen, you're like, okay, that's so funny, right? But it just makes meaning in that moment in your life. Okay. The seventh one is seventh, release control, meaning you have to understand that not everything you can control. All right. Things are going to be unpredictable. Things are going to be different. So you just have to accept that and just let it be as it be, right? The eighth one. Celebrate small wins, which celebrate means small positive things. Just they add up. Okay. And the ninth one, which is sometimes very difficult, which is remember you're not alone. This is terrible. Uh, this is a bad thing as well, because we tend to remember we are alone. We always think that. We always think that no one understands us. But in reality, I think we are telling people not to understand us. Things happen, and we have to understand that it's happening. All right, there are people out there in this world. There's millions of people in this world. All right, they're probably having the same thing as us, same problems, and it might be worse. And the last one is keep growing, because as we learn from these mistakes that we have, we can go forward and learn new things, right? And be better in the future. Okay, so I'm going to rephrase the 10 things again that I mentioned, which is embracing perfection, one, learn from chaos, practice self compassion, seek support, find beauty in chaos, laugh at yourself, release your control, celebrate small wins, remember you're not alone, and keep growing. Okay, so I hope you guys can take this episode of podcast that I have, a very short one, that you can learn something from this, because it's very important to understand that things will not work out the way we want. And at the same time, we should not blame ourselves for it. We should not. We should definitely should not. Okay, so I hope I can share these small nuggets of wisdom with you guys, and hope everyone will have a great, wonderful night tonight. And stay tuned for more exciting podcasts. And if you guys have any questions, of course, feel free to email me or message me. You have my Facebook and my Instagram, and please support me if you can. And that's it. I saw everyone have a great night tonight, and goodbye.